So every morning when I wake up, my first sentence is, Alexa, what's the time? Because I would have already snoozed the button a couple of times or told Alexa a couple of times. My second question is, Alexa, or statement, Alexa, turn on the light to deep blue, because I love that light. You can wake up slowly to it. And my third question, and before I can go on there, a statement, I hear this gruff nudge from the left, and it's like, Alexa, go back to sleep. So that's my husband. So Alexa is not just a household name, right? It's a working mom's best friend. I don't know if you know, for those of you who have little kids, it can actually set timeouts for them, and they're actually fun. You've heard of many stories or read articles, I'm sure, where Alexa has helped. Alexa helped his grandmother when she needed. Alexa saved my life. Alexa helped save my house from getting burnt down. She enables voices for Samuel Jackson and my favorite Amitabh Bachchan. And she gets millions of wedding proposals. What an avatar, right? Our opening keynote today is a creative genius, AI guru, and Amazon's Alexa chief, Rohit Prasad. So Rohit has been with Amazon for 9 years, and before that, prior to joining Amazon, he was deputy manager and senior director for the speech, language, and multimedia business unit at Raytheon BBN Technologies. He did his undergrad from Birla Institute of Technology in India and master's from Illinois Institute of Technology in Chicago. He has authored more than 100 articles in science and has many patents to his name. He is also ranked number 9 in Fast Company's most creative people in business for leading the voice control revolution. He was also named in Recode's top 100 list at number 15 for making Alexa a household name. But guess what? Rohit decided to bring Alexa to our TiECON East today. So welcome, Alexa. We're very happy that you could join us, and I will hand it to you now.
Thank you, Kiran. Please welcome Rohit Prasad, Senior Vice President and Head Scientist of Alexa. Rohit, take it away.
First, I can vouch for how much Kiran made me work for this presentation. I think it's on the back. You want to start from the beginning? So handing the mic and the clicker is the first, so we'll see how that goes. So. That's it. Excellent. So thank you for all those kind words. I'm living my childhood dream. I grew up in the Star Trek era, and I feel like I live my dream every day at work. My mission is pretty simple: make AI useful for everyone. Simple in terms of intent, as you would expect, very hard given where the state of AI is. If you look at the AI timeline, it all started in the 1950s with the Alan Turing paper on Can Machines Think? We have come a long way where AI is becoming a household name in many different places, but it has been a long journey with lots of ups and downs, with ups having extreme optimism and the downs extreme pessimism. But if you step back and take a look, we've come a long way because of hundreds and thousands of researchers working every day where AI can now beat the best game players of human game players at Go or video games, to AI in healthcare, to autonomy in different settings like self-driving cars, and of course the AI assistants. But I really want to take a moment to thank all the researchers who have spent lifetime in this. If you look at how AI is embedded in our lives today, it is in every different field that we are seeing the impact. Starts with industrial automation, healthcare, in daily lives, as Kiran was talking about. And I think this is just going to get bigger and bigger. If you again think about what changed, because we have been at this for decades and decades, and what has really happened in the last 10 years is there are different ways to integrate with AI. You're here, a bunch of entrepreneurs here, big teams, small teams, doesn't matter. There's a solution for AI to be integrated in whichever way you want. If you have a team that's looking at more scientists or engineers who are much more in the lower levels of the stack, then you have ability to use these deep learning frameworks that have revolutionized how you go from data to decisions in your field. There's also more workflow-based systems where you can plug all these components together and automate more things, like that is being done by cloud computing solutions like AWS SageMaker, which is making machine learning workflows be easy to build models and deploy them in real production setting. Then you have the full stack solutions. If you're running a call center applications, or if you're looking at building an enterprise chatbot, there are solutions, again, from cloud providers to build those in what would have taken years and years and thousands of people to build. Now you can do it with 5 people. That's incredible. And lastly, this is where all the mind share between chips, hardware, software is all coming together is the neural network accelerators, or AI chips as we know it, both in the cloud and computing made simple for decision making on the edge. So no question, science fiction is definitely becoming a reality now. And these applications of AI are just gonna go bigger and bigger because everyone is interacting with AI in one form or the other. In enterprises, you have petabytes and petabytes of data and you're trying to extract some form of intelligence and analytics out of it. So the potential is truly unbounded. So the natural question is, how does the future look like? And perhaps the best glimpse of the future is where we are today with what I think of as ambient intelligence. And if you look at Alexa, it is form of an ambient artificial intelligence that is available around you, in your surroundings, and it's available when you need it and recedes into the background when you don't. And that is supremely powerful, as Kiran was talking about it, that your day starts with Alexa on simple things like timers and alarms or checking for the weather, but then you can get into getting your news, controlling your smart home devices, and in this pandemic, Alexa has been a huge help keeping your kids on your task, or even where I've heard stories where somebody got COVID, they were quarantined in the room, people could just drop into that room and check in through the Alexa devices. That has been incredibly powerful. And so I'm just humbled by every way this adoption is happening. And the natural question is, okay, how far have we come? And if I take a step back, if you look at early days of Alexa, when we launched Alexa, that was in 2013 to 2014 November, was where we did a few things very well, but it was really limited and very few things. It could play your music, it could give you weather, it could do your timers and alarms. Those simple things work well because Alexa was pretty good at the foundational sensory understanding, which is understand speech by recognizing it from a distance and then interpreting what someone is saying as the commands. And that happened fundamentally because of 3 reasons. Large quantity of data, which was from homes in a far field setting where there was no such corpora before. Second, lot of computation power available through the AWS cloud systems and especially GPUs. And third was this field of deep learning, which was making it much, much easier to model any phenomena and make predictions. That made Alexa happen. But now we are moving up the AI stack, where if you look at where we are, is just because of that ambient intelligence problem, which I'll talk more about, Alexa is more capable in making more intelligent decisions. It can use your context to say, if you're saying play Hunger Games and you're on a device that has video capabilities, it plays the movie versus an audiobook if you're on a device without a screen. Also, there are limited amount of reasoning capabilities which we as humans are very good at, but super hard to have. And I'll talk about a few things that Alexa can have and reason around. But ultimately, we'll go more towards autonomy over as AI as in a whole area. And that's where a lot of hard questions come in. How can AI be autonomous on your behalf? And how should we think about that? And with that, I think one thing we have to think about is what's different about AI. And the way I think of it is as difference, if you look at every technology advances in the past, the onus of adapting to the technology has fell on us. Even your smartphone, which I think is one of the best inventions in terms of how simple it is to use, it takes time to learn its features. But over time, this is how your smartphone started looking. Tons of apps, huge cognitive overload, and you're always wondering, like, how do I get what I need? And then Alexa changed that in 2014. All that cognitive overload was gone, and all you had to do was speak the easiest thing that we as humans learn from very early days. Now it's getting even better because you have devices that are more multimodal, that you can actually have a screen that even moves with you. And as we are looking at this, I was thinking in terms of one thing that makes AI very different is that innate ability to learn and adapt to you versus the other way around. So this is where humans don't have to spend so much time learning the technology, and this is why AI can be useful for everyone. But how should we think about this? And Praveen talked about pillars for TiE. We think of the same way as pillars in AI. And to me, there are three main pillars in AI. One is trust. Ultimately, you have to trust the AI service that you use on a daily basis, and that is paramount for us. And it's true for every AI capability. Second is naturalness, and in Alexa's context, it's also being more conversational because it's got human-like interaction skills. But naturalness in any setting is key. If it's a self-driving car, of course you're going to have some control of trying to say where to go and so forth, or any other application. Alexa is a good one because you have to speak and it has to speak back at you. And then the third is generalized intelligence. Why is this important? Because if you're building very task-specific intelligence in every different place, the amount of learning and capabilities that the AI can deliver for you is going to be much, much more limited, harder to get benefits from, and that can be changed by more generalized intelligence. So in terms of building trust, the way to think about it is, how do we trust other humans? We trust them based on their competence, and this is where Alexa has thousands and thousands of skills. Its knowledge base has increased by orders of magnitude, where it knows about billions of facts. It also needs to be discreet. We trust people who keep our private information safe. The same onus is on Alexa. It has to be fair and just. It has to be inclusive. It should work equally well for everyone, independent of where their upbringing, skill sets, and their status in the society is. And lastly, it has to be respecting societal norms. So the ethics questions come up. And we are investigating each of these areas because trust is a number one pillar for any company that's looking at AI. In 2014, the fact that we were able to just issue a command or a request to a device from 40, 50 feet away or 10 to 50 feet away, depending on how far your device was magical. But we have come a long way now where that's not sufficient. I think the next paradigm change is where you can have Alexa just join you in a conversation, just like Kiran. I confused the two sisters. How Kiran was talking about, it is a family member. How can it join your conversation when you give it the permission? So we are working on something that we'll be launching in a few months, and I wanted to just preview this here. Let's see if that works.
Alexa, join our conversation.
Okay, let's talk.
We'd like recommendations for a good action movie.
Here are some movies you might like.
But we just watched one last night. How about show us drama movies?
Here you go.
What is the first movie about?
Sylvie's Love is about a young woman who meets an aspiring
Is it a good movie?
Sylvie's Love has a 6.8 rating.
I've seen it, and it's not my favorite. But Lance Reddick was great in it, and he was great in John Wick. Can you show me other movies with Lance Reddick?
Here are some movies you might like.
What do you think about One Night in Miami?
Yeah, that sounds good. I heard good things about the movie. Okay, play number 3.
So you got the general idea there that there was no mention of Alexa in every request. You had to give the permission to join the conversation. It joined the conversation. It was interacting just like another person would. Incredibly hard problem, but we have made real advances here, which I'll be pleased to bring to the customers later this year. The part of naturalness is also fun. And I think we have a bunch of celebrity personalities, or you can think of celebrity assistants, celebrity agents that you can interact with on Alexa naturally and seamlessly. We have, of course, Samuel L. Jackson. We just introduced Shaq as well as Melissa McCarthy a few months back. And of course, for the Indians in this room, I mean, how can you not enjoy that, right? So super exciting. It's just magical to have this kind of fun experiences as well, and you have to try it to experience Amitabh Bachchan. That was just like he's an actor I grew up idolizing, so it was very sentimental for me in many different ways as well. We talked about generalized intelligence a bit, and what does it mean? Whenever people think about generalized intelligence, the immediate thing is, oh my God, that's the dystopian future of our AGI, or artificial general intelligence, taking over the world. We have a very pragmatic definition for it. It really belongs in 3 elements of what we want AI to be able to do. One is learn more multiple tasks together versus one individually. Second, it should adapt to your environment quickly. And third, it should be able to learn new things from you without any human supervision involved from developers. Incredibly hard challenges. We are making progress on all of these, and the way to think about it from an end user or a developer perspective is the AI becomes more self-learning. It's more self-serve, as in you can yourself, if you're an enterprise developer, can access the AI capabilities and make it work in your environment without any hand-holding. And third is more self-awareness of the ambient state. In terms of self-learning, I'm not going to go into these details, but the fundamental thing is that the Alexa becomes smarter every day as you use it. It is automatically able to correct its defects. Like if, for me, I use this example quite often, I have an Indian accent, and Alexa is trained for more of US residents. But my B as in Barry and P as in Peter gets confused a lot. So when I say play BBC, well, the simple is often hard because I didn't say what it is. Is it a radio station or what is it? It could be a song or a artist name. So you can imagine the B and the P as in Peter gets confused. But when I say play BBC, Alexa is smart that when it figures out that a few times that this has happened to me, and then I have to either enunciate better, or other people who have my accent, which is a bunch of people in this room, also that confusion happens, and Alexa is able to automatically learn and customize itself. So with that, like bulk of defects that Alexa has is automatically corrected now, without any human supervision from developers. The other part, which is I'm most excited for the audience in this room, is that it's becoming more and more self-served by developers. And the way we have done this is there are 2 sets of APIs available where you can add a new capability to Alexa, which is called Alexa Skills Kit, or Skills, and Alexa Skills Kit makes it happen. And the second is Alexa Voice Service. Let's say you're a device manufacturer or an application developer and you want to integrate Alexa. You can use Alexa Voice Service to integrate Alexa in your application and in your environment. Super simple. And if you had Alexa devices as an Echo devices or some other third-party devices already in your enterprise setting, then you can extend its skills through the Alexa Skills Kit. And lastly, as Kiran already mentioned, and you may have used this is Alexa Blueprints, which makes it very simple for you to get a few capabilities as end users to customize with no code involved. And I'll briefly touch on these. With this self-serve, the key thing is that there are 130,000 skills that we didn't build. Developers like your companies or the companies you're investing in have done it themselves. We didn't add these skills, and it was done all through Alexa Skills Kit. There are hundreds of devices of different types that have Alexa built in now that we didn't build. And that is the power of self-serve. I mentioned no-code skill development. This is where Boston Children's Hospital has used the capability where you just bring your data, and now in their own enterprise settings, their patients can ask the question, what are the cafeteria hours? Or if you have a bunch of inventory you wanted to check on and your workforce needed to know about it, you can just ask for it through voice. Again, no code. This was inconceivable a few years back. Even with the AI optimist like me, I didn't think that self-serve was possible, but that's working. Same with end users, where they can write a blueprint where you can say, you can put who's going to do the household chores in terms of getting your trash out. So that's the most well-used, the school schedule, where, and especially this was great in my household when we were all in the lockdown stage or work from home or schooling from home. Keeping kids on task was super convenient with these things. Let me also...
Alexa, show me
Just a sec. Let me also show you like how now you go from the no-code aspect to teaching Alexa just by voice.
Alexa, show me popular restaurants nearby.
Okay, here are some top-rated restaurants. Mesquite Barbecue, Jimmy's Burger Town, 12-ounce Burger and Bar. Would you like directions?
Alexa, I don't eat meat.
Okay, I'll remember that for recipes, restaurants, and groceries. Here are some top-rated vegetarian restaurants. The Emerald Terrace, Leaf and Spoon, Roots Brigade. Would you like directions for any of these?
So this was a simple example of where the end user barged in saying, I'm a vegetarian on the choices that it was given. And it automatically learned that that's the preference expressed by the customer. And now it learns that I'll apply that preference on everything else. It learned a new concept completely on its own, and which was about your preferences. No human supervision involved other than you telling Alexa. This to me is the ultimate holy grail of AI, where it can actually learn from end users. The last pillar is self-awareness. By self-awareness, I mean where the AI is aware of many different types of things in terms of how to interact with you, how what your needs are, also about your ambient state. And how can Alexa be smart about knowing, based on context, that if you arrived close to the garage door should open. If you left your garage door open and you've gone to bed, it can say, I have a hunch that you left the garage door open and I don't think it makes sense for it to be open. So that's where it's now being more proactive in helping you in those ways. Of course, routines is another powerful feature. Everything Kiran mentioned on the beginning of the day, you can write a routine, say, Alexa, good morning, and it will do all the things you want to say, want it to take actions in the morning, and that's becoming super simple. We just introduced a new device. This is like the news of yesterday, as Anu, you mentioned. So, which is an Echo Show 15. This is a 15-inch screen and a perfect device in your kitchen where it can actually also act as your content consumption one, where you can play video as well. But one of the big things about self-awareness here and the awareness of the ambient state is if you left a sticky note, let's say I left it for my son to eat his lunch when he comes in from school or late tea, then as soon as he comes in front of the screen, the sticky note that is meant for him appears. That's again better self-awareness, more personalized to you. But perhaps the ultimate self-awareness and moving up more to autonomy is a home robot. And that is essentially where it can do way more tasks in your house on its own and on your behalf. Now, everyone was asking me at dinner yesterday, Rohit, what all it can do. So let me quickly show you what all it can do.
A robot.
Yes.
What are we going to do with a robot?
Well, Astro, follow me.
Hi, Grandma. I miss you.
I miss you too. Hey, you got the toy I sent.
Yeah, I love it. Astro, follow me.
Cool. All right, race ya.
Come on.
Told you I turned it off.
And now I totally believe you. Ooh, yikes.
Message from Steve. Remember to eat something green today, Dad.
Check.
Hey, Barbie. Just return the dogs.
Astro, let's dance.
Thought we weren't home, huh? You thought wrong. It's a good try, though.
What? Thank you. All right, I'm in.
Knew it.
So I hope you got a glimpse of the future, and this future is really next to us. But I'm most excited about how we could use these pillars I talked about to build collectively with you all in this room what I think AI can do for everyone. So thank you. Thank you for having me here.